It's so wild to look at this stuff back as an adult and be like, holy crap, no wonder we're here.
Yeah, it's almost like a psyop.
Yeah, it's a huge psyop. And I really encourage anyone, look at like hip hop music, urban music in the late 90s, all the way into the 2000s. It was all like pro degeneracy, pro drug dealing, pro criminality, whatever. And this is what the black community goes on. Like, this is what they love. So when I call shit like this and I say like, we have these problems, etc., they want to talk about systemic racism. No, we got what I call systemic organized bigotry. See, the problem with these like pro-black is they're all stupid. They think like they got the truth on their side, but the reality is they don't. So like they don't like talking to people like me because they look at it like, oh, you're an Uncle Tom, you're a racist, blah, blah, blah. But the point is that it's one thing for them to challenge like white supremacy all the time and say, oh, white people hold us down, whatever. It's another thing from their side to flank them on. It's not really the white supremacy.
Never seen that, you're right.
It's not really the white supremacy. It's just that you guys are dumb and you guys commit crimes and you guys, push this very toxic culture, right? Which is extremely problematic, right? Like I stopped listening to hip hop because it's so toxic. And actually, it's funny. I walked into a 7-Eleven, right? And there was a song playing. It was Ciara. And it said, sometimes I wish like I could act like a boy. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because as I walked in, this is a song that's old. It's from like 2006, 2007, something like that. And I remembered all the lyrics. Then I went back and I watched the music video. It's one thing to watch something as a teenager, then again to watch it as an adult. And I'm like, oh my God. And in the music video, basically she's saying, if I cheated like you did, right? And the rules, didn't apply, blah, blah. Sometimes I wish I act like a boy. And the song basically is like encouraging women to cheat back on their boyfriends or their husbands or whatever. And in the music video, she's dressing like a guy, she's dancing like a guy, she's behaving like a guy, wearing the white beater, etc. And she's like, I think Reggie Bush, back when he was like very popular back then, she's like, poking at him and smack. It's one thing to like consume that content as a consumer back then in the teenage years. It's another thing to look back on it as an adult and be like, wow, this is very pernicious because this music is what was all over the industry at the time. Now you take that with the fact that Beyoncé knows running around like, all the single ladies, right? And I can have another you in a minute. Like the entire 2000s, now that I think about it, from TLC No Scrub all the way to like the end of the 2010s was just like women basically like fighting back against the patriarchy, right? Especially in the black community, which is basically a matriarchy, and undermining male authority. And then you fast forward now to 2025. I mean, it makes sense where we're at.
Yeah.
And it makes sense why women are and why women do the dumb shit that they did, because I'm looking back and I'm like, imagine how many women cheated to their man off that song.
Wow.
Imagine how many women like listen to that and said, I'm going to take that to heart because we don't have dads in a lot of these communities. So what are they doing? They're getting raised by the music. Well, the entertainer doesn't have an obligation to raise your kid for you. They have an obligation to make catchy music. And that's what they did. And then you look at the music video back when they actually used to care about music videos. And she's literally dressing like a dude and she's dancing. And then on one side, she's dressed like a girl, on one side wearing a dress, and on the other side dressed like a guy. And she's saying like, I'm going to start acting like a guy. And the music video like shows all this. And, it's so wild to look at this stuff back as an adult and be like, holy crap, no wonder we're here.
Yeah. It's almost like a psyop.
Yeah, it's a huge psyop. And I really encourage anyone, like, look at like hip hop music, urban music in the late 90s, all the way into the 2000s. It was all like pro degeneracy, pro drug dealing, pro criminality, whatever. And this is what the black community, goes on. Like, this is what they love. So when I call shit like this and I say like, we have these problems, etc., we have like, they want to talk about systemic racism. No, we got what I call systemic organized bigotry, right? And what that is
systemic
I'm gonna get you in trouble.
Oh man.
I'll get you in trouble. Anyway, the reality is Sean doesn't have these views, okay, guys? Sean does not have these views. These are just my views. These are not Sean's views. Okay, he is not a racist or I am.
Thank you.
So, anyway.
I forgot to tell you, my TikTok got banned because of our last debate. Did I tell you this?
Oh, really?
With Destiny, yeah. Yeah, so thank you for that. I got it back, but
okay. I
was gone for 4 months.
For 4 months? Because of me?
The Israel debate, yeah.
Dude, that was a clean...
When Ellison took over TikTok about a year ago. And
that makes sense. Of course, as soon as he takes... Shut it down!
Yeah.
Shut it down.
Yeah, that was a good debate, too, but yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was a very tame debate.
I thought it was tame. You guys agreed on a lot.
Yeah.
It was chill.
It was more of a high-end political discussion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they blame systemic racism on everything. I call it systemic organized bigotry. And what that is basically like always being a victim, always blaming other people, always making lies about like redlining and all this other. It's like, bruh, like the reality is that like black people were doing better in the 1960s when they were the most oppressed.
Yep.
So explain to me, how is it when you have the worst oppression, you have segregation, you have everything, you were doing better? Well, I'll tell you why, because it's a nuclear family. When you have a family and people work together, things get done regardless of oppression. So a lot of these things that they use as excuses for why they're not where they claim they're supposed to be or whatever, it's just a lot of cope. And I've challenged them to Tariq Nasheed. I call him Tariq Nasheed. His wife is a right? Which is funny because like he does all this like very divisive racism content. I challenged him to debate. I was like, bro, we can do a debate on this thing. Oh, I need to get paid. I'm bigger than you in every single way. Like this is a big come up for you. But he doesn't want to do that because the thing is that his entire brand relies upon, you know, white supremacy and having this victim narrative. So it's just not a W for him because if I embarrass him, he's cooked, right? Like I'm not a race debater. This is like just a part of what I do. I just call out stupidity. It just so happens that people tend to be very stupid in many different ways. Yeah. So they're not used to that. So when I was talking with Lamont Hill about this on Pierce, to answer Pierce's question, he was getting mad because they had a Lily and they're saying like, oh, say whatever.
Oh, I saw that.
They were like, oh, if it's not such a big deal, go ahead and say it. He was enticing her to say it. So I said, you know what? I pulled out the gun.
Oh,
I hit it.
This out.
I hit the gun.
Yeah.
And then they blurred on the show.
They cut this part out.
Yeah.
'Cause I was watching that.
Yeah. I think they didn't like that.
Wow.
But yeah, it's very funny.
I know you get a lot of heat from black people. Like,
oh yeah. They hate me, bro. Yeah. And they hate me because I call out. I get more hate from them. Because let me address this too, right? So one of these specials that a lot of these like use against me is they say, oh, you went in their Twitter space and they didn't even want you there, blah, blah. Number one, I was invited to do a debate on immigration. I went into the space to do the debate on immigration. I got kicked out by one of these dumb white supremacists, right? Because the reality is like a lot of these guys are, I've said this, right? Now, here's the difference. For every white person that says, oh, we hate you, Myron, you're black, blah, 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 I got like 1,000 people that love me, right? Now, we'll switch it. Most of my haters, the people that attack me the most are black. So I might get one white hater, they'll like be like, oh, see, these guys hate you. Bro, that's one out of like 1,000. But with you guys, it's like thousands of y'all that hate me. So I get more love from white people, even though there might be a couple idiots here and there, way more than I do from black people. Like I get all the hate I get is always from black people every single time.
But the craziest part is you're trying to help the black people.
Yes.
That's
and they don't like the
part.
truth. The biggest thing with them is they don't like the truth, bro. Like I tell them like, yo, it's not your skin color. It's not your background. None of that, bro. Stop being a criminal. Stop being an idiot. Like if my dad could come here from Sudan, not know the language, not know anything, was a cab driver getting robbed multiple times, never took welfare. One time he got hit so hard he had to drive a cab in a cast. Yeah. If he was able to figure out, how can you guys not? You guys been here for 7 generations. You guys are foundation Black American, right? How you been here for 7 generations but you got $7 in a bank account? What's wrong with you, bro?
That's nuts.
Your last name is Jackson. Like you've been here for a minute. You know, your uncle picked cotton or your great-great-granddaddy picked cotton. What are you doing? You're not doing shit. You don't even have a job. So they hate that because I call it like it is. And then I'm able to like assess it on a molecular level. Like, you know, this has been a very pernicious cycle for a very long time. And it's been in the music, it's been in the culture. It's a very toxic culture.
Yeah.
Like that Ciara example I gave you, just one example of many of chart-topping songs that indoctrinated an entire generation of women to not respect masculine authority and not respect men. You don't respect men, you don't have the men. Your society's cooked.
Yeah.
Because now you got a bunch of women raising boys and they turn out to be feminine idiots that commit crimes and do a bunch of, and that's where we have the problems that we have.